Good afternoon, friends and family. For those of you out there who are caught up in your pride and your sin and your wickedness and you don't believe God is real, then keep going, man. Keep scrolling. I would rather you stay because what I'm about to speak is truth. It's truth. And I know for a fact because I've lived a lot of this stuff in God's good book, and so that's how I know it's truth. And usually when truth is spoken, truth gets into the heart. Truth brings conviction, then that brings change, and then your life changes for the better, and you start living for other people instead of living for yourself. That's the point of this. That's the point of these videos. So if you don't want to hear truth, if you want to continue to be caught in yourself and live in your self-absorbed world, then you go right ahead and you keep on scrolling. I hope you don't. I hope you stick around. I hope you stay because there is a more meaningful and a more fulfilling life out there for you. You don't have to stay stuck right where you're at. You can start to do what I did. Seek God, pray, and read His Word. Learn, grow, and trust. Psalm 10, verse 2, in his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the wicked who are caught in the schemes of his devices. He boasts about the cravings of his heart, and he blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. Your laws are rejected by him. He sneers at all his enemies. He says to himself, nothing will ever shake me. He swears no one will ever do me harm. His mouth is full of lies and threats, and trouble and evil are under his tongue. He lies in wait near the village from ambush the murder and to murder the innocent. His eyes watch in secret for his victims. Like a lion in cover, he lies in wait. Now, I'm going to really turn things around here. I don't know how I got on this track, but Saturday I went to a ministry conference, a training for the RFC ministry, and we were talking about addiction. And then I was thinking about my own personal life and the addictions I struggled with, the things that I struggled with, and we got, me and one of my former directors, we got into a conversation about addiction, and I said, drag racing is like an addiction. And what do you mean? He agreed with me because if you think about it, right? You're on that line, right? You're waiting for the tree, right? You're waiting for the lights to drop, and boom, you go off that line, pedal to the metal. You're grabbing those gears, you're getting it. Your heart is racing, your heart is pumping, man. You're faster. You're doing everything in your power to beat that, and your adrenaline is just through the roof, man. The endorphins are gone, man. You're like 180, 176 running 10s and 9s in the quarter, and when you hit the brakes, the parachute goes, and then your pressure comes down, and you thrill of the wind. I did it, man, and this is why it's an addiction, not because of that, because of the thrill. Well, that's a big part of it. Yeah, the rush, the adrenaline rush, adrenaline junkie. This is where it becomes dangerous. When you can't say no, or when you can't back off, or when you keep pushing the limit. And now I'm going to explain to you. Quite a few years back, I met a young man. We weren't personal friends or anything like that, but I know of him, and it's cool about Facebook because you can see people's lives from a distance. You see their posts, you see the things they post, and I remember him when he came out of the street. He was taken under another addict's wing, and an addict taught him the trade of mechanics and stuff like that. And he was a pill popper. He lived in North Philly under the L. He was a mess. And then by the grace of God, this other brother came into his life and taught him the field of water mechanics. And then as time had gone on, I would see posts here and there him street racing. He's out in the street, man. Betting $1,000 a race. He's taking on the best in the city, and then I see pictures of him and his girl and his kid, and his family, and then now I see that his family's pretty much separated. Now I'm going to make the assumption that it's because of the street race. And why is it? This is where it becomes an addiction. You put your pills down, you put your bottle down, you picked up something else. You picked up another bottle, nitro, right? And hit the nitro. That's another addiction, right? That thrill, man, of getting down the track. But this is where it gets dangerous, man. You keep pushing the envelope, right? You keep pushing it. You're out on the street. You're running $1,000 or $5,000 a race. People are challenging you, taking you on, and you got a child at home, and you should be, you're older now. You're moving into your 40s, your 30s, your 40s. You're getting older. You shouldn't be out in the street running with these 20-year-olds, these 25-year-olds. told you now. You got a child, you love your child. It's obvious. We see the pictures and stuff like that. But it's so important for you to keep up that status quo, to keep up that rep on the street. To keep up that ego. You gotta go out at 11 o'clock at night. And the old lady's telling you, stay home here with us, be safe. Be a dad. Stay home, be a dad. And the wicked man, like what I just read, the wicked man is so self-centered, so just honed in on what he wants when he wants it, and the pride, and then he gets angry, and then before he knows it, the relationship's destroyed. But he just can't say no, man. He can't say no to the thrill. He can't say no to the throttle. He can't say no to the bottle. He's got to get out there on that street, man. He's got to get that coin. He's got to make that money. He's got to keep hitting it. Got to keep hitting it. Got to keep hitting it. And that's an addiction. That is an out-of-control addiction. I don't care if it's a bottle, it's a pill, or if it's an accelerator. It doesn't matter. It's an addiction. It's an addiction because all you can think about, all you can care about is getting that car and getting that car to go faster and faster and faster to make more money, more money, more money. You're putting out the challenge on the street. You're taking people on right and left. So you don't think your luck is going to run out. It says it right here. He says to himself, nothing will ever shake me, man. He swears no one will ever do me harm. He swears that his car is the fastest car on the street, and nobody can touch him, man. He's so locked up in his pride. And then one day, that one night, that one time, that so many times you push the envelope, so many times you come that close to, to hitting a car, hitting a pole, wrecking it. That close you've come so many times, and only by God's grace you didn't. That's addiction, man. That's addiction. When you continue to do something and has a negative impact on your life, that's the definition of an addiction. Now, this young man, pedal to the metal, man, all throttle, lost, I'm not, like I said, I'm making an assumption. I'm assuming that, you realize you need to grow up. You don't grow up. So move on to the next relationship and, do whatever you need to do so that whoever you're involved with can appease you, satisfy you, because it's all about you. It's about no one else but myself. I only care about me. I only care about my reputation. I only care about my ego. I only care about being the fastest car on the street or the fastest car on the track. It's only a matter of time before your luck runs out, man. Only a matter of time before your run luck's out, and you put that car into a wall, you put that car into a pole. Lord willing, you survive it. Lord willing, you survive that wreck. And I'm sure there's racers out there to tell you that they were like this, man. They were right there, and it didn't matter, man. I do whatever I got to do, man. If you gotta buy parts instead of put on the light bill, it's an addiction. If you tell your old lady to be quiet, I'm going to go race anyway, and I don't care about you and the kid. I gotta keep up, man. I gotta keep up. I got a rep. I got to keep up with that rep. Then guess what? That's an addiction, man. That's an addiction. See, it's not all about you. It's not all about your ego. It's not all about your pride. It's not all about you, keeping up that reputation on the street, being the fastest car on the street. It's not about any of that. It's supposed to be about other people. At some point in your life, you're going to have to realize that you need to stop focusing on you. That's the problem with addiction. It's all about you. It's all about what you want when you want it, and you don't care about anybody else. So you can get out of the drugs and the alcohol and the pills and the heroin, all those different kinds of things. But if you're still so focused on yourself and what you want when you want it, then you're still basically addicted to yourself in a sense. Think about it, right? It's what you want when you want it, and doesn't matter who you run over to get it, right? That's addiction, and you can be addicted to yourself. But nobody ever mentioned street racing, and I really started to think about it, and it blew my mind to think about that. Like, wow, it's all about them. Pack up the car on the weekend, we all go to the track, let's all go do what I want to do. Who cares about what you want? It's about what I want. I got to keep up that reputation. I got to be the fastest car on the street, and that's an addiction. That's an addiction, whether you realize that or not. It is, and you need to come to terms with that, because some guys go into the wall, and guess what? They don't go home. They don't go home, and they die in that. They die in their pride. They die in their selfishness. They die in that. In a sense, it is wicked. It is wicked because you're living for yourself, and you're not living for other people, and you're not loving those around you. You're only loving what you want and loving what you do, and that's, my friend, is an addiction any which way you slice the bread. So do yourself a favor before your time runs out, before you get unlucky, before you throw a gear or blow a tire, or before something horrific happens, and God's got to get your attention. Do some self-examination. Look at things that have happened in your past life. See if there's something you can do different. Be encouraged today. Know God loves you. Make a change. Make a change.